Take two. Hey sis, this is Spyro 2. I told you I'd play this for you. I probably should have started at Spyro 1, but because this is my favorite game of all time, I wanted to start with this game. So I want to play through all three Spyros for you. This is, obviously, yes, as the thing says, Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. Interestingly enough, Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage is the version that America got. The European and Australian version was Spyro 2 Gateway to Glimmer, and there are a few minor differences, I think. Musical differences, I'm not entirely sure. Unfortunately, my version of the game currently has some weird audio glitches in its cutscenes, so I know just like these first couple of cutscenes kind of just cut out with the audio. I can explain them, I can kind of summarize them, but yeah, it's a little unfortunate, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, so I will play through this one first, 100% completion. I'll play through Spyro 3 next, and then I'll play through Spyro 1 last, because Spyro 1 is so vastly different to Spyro 2 and Spyro 3, and it's overall one of my less favorite games. It's still pretty good, but... So the basic mechanics of Spyro gameplay is that you have a very rock, paper, scissors combat system. You have your flame, which, kills... Oh, hi. Sorry. We got your flame that kills lesser enemies like these, and then there are some enemies... Well, these enemies can also be killed with a charge, and there are some enemies that can't be killed with a charge. You just kind of bonk into them. They can only be killed by flaming them. And then there are some enemies that have flame-resistant armor, and so they can only be killed with charging. I think there are some enemies in Spyro 1 who are resistant to both, so they're big and they've got flame-resistant armor, so you can't really kill them by normal means, but there are other ways of killing them. I'm just gonna turn on the active camera real quick, because that's just... I like the active camera a lot more. So this is the first level of the game, this is Glimmer. It's fine, I guess. You're supposed to... I'm saying a lot. Over time, Ollie. This is just really for you, Jen, so... Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter who else plays it, who else watches this. Trying to think of things to say. This is, yeah, so this is like the first level of the game, and if you've played or seen Spyro 1 before, you can tell how visually different it already is. Sure, it's still like blocky and polygony and so on and so forth, but there's actually a lot more depth in its textures. So like, here with this gem, there's actually, it looks like shading and glint of, how like a gem would normally look. This one looked like it reflects light, from the sun and the sky and so on and so forth. So, it looks pretty good. Compared to Spyro 1, which has a lot of very flat colors and textures and so on and so forth. So Zoe's just explaining the save mechanic to you. Every time you find Zoe, she'll zap you, and that's a checkpoint. So if you die, you'll come back to where she last zapped you. Now, interestingly enough, that this level you're supposed to come back to later in the game, because you don't actually have access to the climb ability yet. You gotta come back. Fortunately, however, there are a bunch of neat tricks and techniques in this game that make this game a lot more fun to play, even if you've played it like a whole bunch before. Is that there's a lot of like interesting, cool techniques, I suppose. In order to get places where you really shouldn't be able to. So, for example, here there is a gap that is, unable to be closed by normal means. If you just jump up normally and glide over, you won't be able to reach it. So you're supposed to pay money bags. However, if I can get the camera, if you do what is known as a double jump, you can make it across. There are a few other ways to make it across as well, without paying money bags. Yeah, there's a way to get out of the map in this level. I'll probably show you that. There's also a way to get up here. You're also normally supposed to be able to only get up here when you get the climb ability, because there's a flying power-up that gets you up here. So you do a double jump. Now, how you do a double jump is you jump, and then you press charge while in the air, and Spyro will kind of charge upwards. And that gives you a lot more height. Or it can give you a lot more height if you, like, time it really, really well. But it generally allows you to get just enough height where the people who made the game, the developers, didn't intend for you to be able to get just enough height. So a lot of areas they've put just out of reach, and with that double jump you can get to them. So it makes the game a lot of, there's a lot of like barrier breaking and so on and so forth. You can get outside of bounds and do some really, really cool things. Which I really, really like. It's fun. It's one of the reasons why, even after so many years of playing this game and whatnot, it's one of the big reasons why it still is so fun to me. Like, a lot of the fun and entertainment value could just be, nostalgia value. I played this when I was like, 4 or 5 years old. This is the first game I ever got on my PlayStation 1. So, there's a lot of love in this game for me. So, we've got our first orb challenge here. Orbs are this semi-optional collectible that you can get throughout the game. I say semi-optional because you don't need all of the gems in order to complete the game. Oh, also we unlocked the Superfly power-up. We don't need all of the gems in order to complete the game. Sorry, all the orbs to complete the game. We need, I think it's 60 orbs in order to unlock the final door to the Ripto boss fight. However, because I want to go and because I'm doing a 100% playthrough, we'll be getting all of the. I'm playing this really badly, but we'll be getting all of the orbs. So we're just picking up some gems and stuff here. We've almost got all of the gems in the level. I think this is... no, it's still a little bit more. That's fine. I'm not sure where they could... Oh, I know where they are. So we gotta go up here. We gotta get all of these lizards. So this kangaroo is going to give us...
You can spit pretty fast!
Thank you. So we're gonna spit this rock, we're gonna hit the lizard. There's one on the other side as well. You can actually flame these guys, but if you get too close to them, they pop out of their hole, or they pop into their hole and you can't hit them. But if you flame and then do a charge jump, you will flame upwards, which is actually kind of useful in some areas. That's also not something that was particularly intended by the people who made the game. But it's still fun. It's good fun. Oh, I missed. That's fine. Got it. Cool. So we're about to move on to another area that, before we leave, I'm gonna do... Normally you're supposed to fly around here and flame all of these with the Superfly power-up. But I like to do it like this. I'm a big fan of the speedruns of the Spyro games. So a speedrun is like the idea is to complete the game as fast as possible. So
Thanks for helping me.
In order to complete this game, like, completely bare... This is our first orb, by the way. In order to complete the game completely bare bones, all you have to do is beat Ripto, and there is a way of doing that within starting the game in 7 minutes. And considering that this game is, you know, not like it's not a short game, but it can get really short if you know really what you're doing. I'm gonna have to go back a little bit. Whoop. Jesus Christ. Got him. So yeah, you're not supposed to be able to 100% complete this level until you've unlocked the climb ability, but I'm going to show you a couple of ways. Well, I'm going to show you a way you can get up there earlier. So we don't actually have to come back to this level after we finished it. Okay. Grab this. Okay, we hit this. Alright, that's our second orb challenge for Glimmer done. So there's 3 orbs in Glimmer, and there's not any determined amount of orbs in each level. There's not, you know, 3 in each level. There can be like 4 in one level, 1 in one. So also, I didn't really explain this. I charge jumped, or I double jumped up onto this out of bounds area. Walls in this game are only solid on one side. So over here you can see that there's the ruin, the power-up. I kind of just flew into this room because when you're flying into this room from out there, the wall isn't solid. But in here, obviously, the wall is solid. So that's a neat little thing. So now I can fly around, get these. Whoop. Man, I'm doing really badly. That's alright, I'll pick up. I haven't played Spyro in a while, so... So that's all our orb challenges done.
Thanks for helping me like...
Now we just need to find the rest of the gems, then we can go talk to the last guy to get our talisman, and then we're done with Glimmer. Alright. So... Whoops. That was bad. Let's see, how many... Can't check how many, gems we've got. I'm gonna guess the last few gems that I need to find are around here somewhere. Well, I can use sparks to check, right? I can't use sparks to check. Oh, I guess that's not in this version of the game. There are versions of Spyro, I can't remember which ones, but you can press all 4 of the shoulder buttons to have sparks point you in the direction of the of gems. So it can be really, really useful to find the last remaining few, like the last few remaining gems in any given level. So we're only missing a 2 gem. Okay, I just remembered how to do that, so we're missing 1 gem. It's down here. Guess it's out the front. Where the hell is it? Oop. Oh, here it is. Alright, got all the gems. All the gems, all the orbs. Almost done. So we'll get back to the end of the level really quickly by doing this. So if we jump over here... There we go. And here we are at the end of the level.
Spyro, thanks for helping us fight.
So this guy will give us the talisman, and In total in this game there are 14 talismans, so one for each world in the first 2 home worlds. And then the last home world doesn't have any talismans. So that's it for Glimmer. So we're going to fly through here, go to Summer Forest, and then I'll end this first video there, because I'm going to be doing 1 level per video. So, yeah, okay. The audio just cuts out on all these cutscenes. I'm sorry about that. I'm a little annoyed about that, but that's alright. So yeah, here we are at Summer Forest, and I'm going to end the video there, and I'll see you in the next one.